The start of the first spot XRP ETF. Know something brand new about the results from the first day. Now is the time to get to the facts. Paul Barron and an expert on ETFs are shown here. Eric came out with the comment about the Rex Osprey, which was kind of shocking. This is, of course, the XRP ETF. A lot of people have left in a short time. I think it was 90 minutes at the time he tweeted this. Do you still think this thing will grow at this rate? Have you checked out the most current odds? Even though I haven't checked in a while, it did slow down a bit after the initial launch, but it's still having a great day, like a great product launch. These items are the ones in the picture you showed earlier that met the selling standards. It has something to do with this. That means the product you just showed fits into the 1940 Act wrapper. Because of this, there are generic listing standards for goods that fit into the 1940 Act. I do not wish to delve too deeply into this subject, but that hearing center was pretty much the same as any other. These new goods could come out 75 days after the prospectus was filed, which is why Rex Osprey pretty much forced Solana, XRP, and Doge into that 40 Act wrapper with legal and regulatory loopholes. They were able to start because the SEC couldn't stop them because it was legal. Part of what's happened with those generic listening centers is similar to what's happening with pure spot goods, which usually have to go through that 19b4 process that I've talked about a lot. It takes about 260 days to do. You are going through the SEC over and over again. There are delays and refusals. With this general listing place, that will no longer be need. In other words, the process will be pretty much the same for pure spot goods that will only hold the spot underlying asset. The only thing they need to do is get the prospectus accepted. Before, you had to go through a different division called Division or Training and Markets to get your 19 before it was accepted. This is the same thing as asking for a rule change. You would have had to do that for every object that came with that kind of wrapper. And I think the SEC was like, we should have had a streamlined process from the start. This is something we should have done already. 2, we don't want to have to send out 20, 30, or 40-page papers to every product that wants to list a new crypto asset to say that it's okay. It seems like that's not what they want to do. So here are the pros and cons. It will be easy to list spot products for cryptocurrencies like XRP, HBR, ADA, and others, but there are times when there are too many goods on the market. So when you have 100 or 200 different goods instead of just a few, people might get confused and not know where to start, and money might get, some of it might not go to certain things. They could be far apart. There are some bad things about this, but there are also some great things. For example, Chad Steingeber said that Grayscale Day 1 and Rex Osprey Day 2 could be compared side by side. Okay, this is Grayscale. The Rex Osprey then looks at this book. It's really cool to see that all of these goods are now on the market because it shows average trading and how much it's been trading for. There are also big investors who are interested, and I did give you some more information here. It was officially launched on September 19th, and the Grayscale CoinDesk Crypto 5 ETF holds XRP as its third largest holding. This makes it the first big multi-asset crypto ETF in the US to do so. At the same time, the Rex Osprey XRP ETF went live and set a new record for trade volume, beating all other ETFs, even those for Bitcoin. We really want to hear that, ladies and gentlemen. Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Solana, and Cardano make up this Grayscale package. And of course, here's some more detail. $37.7 million worth of trades were made on the first day. The price of XRP did go down today, because of the news. I just want to show you how much XRP is worth. Right now, the price has dropped from $299 to $238. This shows that the market is not happy with all the financial news coming out of the US, but I think it will be green by the end of the month and into October. Chad Steingeber says that you should think about Coinbase futures for all the XRP ETFs that you're about to get. Coinbase has been a leader in getting all of this done. Thanks, Coinbase. I love seeing it. Smoke Dog also has this. Franklin Templeton 2024 and other L1s besides Bitcoin, ETH, and Solana have a lot of promise, and they're continuing to support, watch over, and build these networks as they grow and mature. John Franklin Templeton. We're going with XRP for 2025. Stellar also works with Franklin Templeton. Let's not beat around the bush about that, but you get the point. It is great that Franklin Templeton is working with XRP, Ripple, Stellar, and XLM, which are the best banking systems in the world. The first backed stablecoin on Enosis will also be possible thanks to a friendly fork of Liquidity L2. This will let you mint stablecoins that are backed by your FXRP. Flare and XRP both get a lot out of this. To give you a little more background, the post tells you about the start of the first XRP-backed stablecoin on the Flare network, which is made possible by Anosis Loans, which is a protocol fork from Liquidity V2. People who own XRP can now create stablecoins that are likely tied to the US dollar by using FXRP as collateral. This opens up DeFi features like payments, yield farming, buying NFTs, and lending. What's good about this is that a lot of new developers will come in and build the new machinery that will let us do all of these things. This means that as more XRP is used, the amount that is in circulation will go down, which will make the value of XRP go up. Chad Signgrabber says all 500,000 dormant XRP accounts. 10 million XRP are stored in more than 500,000 banks, according to data. Man, can you imagine having 10 million XRP? There will be very wealthy people. Hey Grossi, let's talk about the SNL to the SEC, Dogecoin getting an ETF, and more meme trades. It was great to see this. One more time for the people in the back, says Chad Steingraber. The price of oil is going to go up. That will be the event that makes Japan raise interest rates and end the carry trade on a large scale. As a hedge, XRP is the best. Of course, this person who goes by the name Risk Take says that oil is the key and has shared some more information about what we're looking at here. Finally, I'd like to talk about Claver's reverse carry trade theory. In the reverse carry trade, investors borrow cheap Japanese yen and put that money into global assets with better yields. When Japan raises rates, it could be because of sudden changes in the price of oil. The trade quickly ends, which leads to a rush back into yen and a massive sell-off of assets like US Treasuries. Usually, FX and banking rails aren't designed to handle such huge, rapid changes in capital, which causes a big problem for global liquidity. How could this be good for XRP? Clayror says that XRP, with its almost instant settlement, large liquidity pools, and ability to act as a bridge asset between currencies and platforms, could handle a huge amount of these emergency cross-border flows. This is because when traditional routes get backed up or unstable, institutions may turn to solutions like RippleNet and XRP to make it easier for them to send money quickly, safely, and legally, especially on an institutional scale. This huge increase in demand and volume could make XRP's price go through the roof, both because of capital flight and because of the need to use it for payment. Claver specifically talks about how XRP can be used to make deals in 20 to 40 minutes and how it is meant to be a neutral bridge for global payments. If you say 20 to 40 minutes, that's probably the settlements, which take 3 to 5 seconds. But I think he's talking about how this SS is a little slower when financial institutions are doing it. Of course, we'll have to see if Jake Claver is right about this. If he is, I think all of us would want our XRP to be worth a lot more. That guy should be praised for putting it out there, man. Anyway, he's reading his book and thinking these things, so I'm pulling for him, man. I really want him to be right. Then Paul Barron says that crypto loan is about to go through the roof. The market for DeFi loans just reached 15 billion TVL in 2024. But here's what really happened. By 2030, I think there will be more than 500 billion in loan protocols, 100 million active borrowers and lenders, traditional banks that offer DeFi integration, and real-world assets that can be used as collateral. We talked about this a few years ago, but it's great to see Pobier changing his mind about some of it. I just made a course to help people who are new to, intermediate, or experienced with XRP learn more about the XRP system and Ripple the company. There is a link at the bottom of the text that will let you get that course for free. After you take the course, please let me know what you think. Hello?